Splitty City Slickers. Welcome once again to Hank's Think Tank, covering the craziest and cringiest in MMA news. And this time around, Splitty City Slickers, a bunch has changed since last you saw Hank the Tank stream. The entire landscape of mixed martial arts has changed forever. Not only because we just had another big UFC card in UFC Seattle in the books, but also Dana White made a bunch of recent announcements with future UFC events in the next couple months. And I got to tell you, man, they are some of the headliners of our dreams, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we've been waiting for. This is the big gift giveaway from old Uncle Fester. He finally stopped being a curmudgeon and decided, you know what? I'm going to do something fun. And he gave us a lot of great fights that we are going to be watching in just a few months, man. We're privileged. We're going to be seeing like dream matchups in May and June, even in April. So I'm looking forward to those. I will be covering those here on the show, but also we have a bunch of big drama, Splitty City Slickers. For the Francis and Dana beef continues. The Sean Strickland and Eric Nixick beef continues. There's even been a randomly started beef between Arman Sarukian and his coach over some sparring footage. And meanwhile, we got the king of cringe, or should I say the clown of cringe, Henry Cejudo, making some absolutely ridiculous statements. And I'm going to be going over this time around. He's making excuses. He's calling for rematches. He's saying points should be taken. He's saying the fight shouldn't have been stopped. He's basically saying everything in his power to seem like the voice of reason or the guy who has the right opinion here and is just begging for another chance. But I'm about to completely dismantle every single one of his arguments he made in a recent Instagram video, and I'll save that for the very end because that's the most recent news. But goddamn, man, he's getting out of control. It's time for me to lay the smackdown on some of these candy asses. For you guys, dude, for you guys. So welcome to Hank's Think Tank. How are we all doing here today? Woo! Weird, this was hidden from my feet. Hidden? How's that possible? Fucking algorithm. Oh, there it is. I said the F-bomb and YouTube censored me. Yo, how's it going, Xenu? Squidward. Hey, Squidward. Hey, Squidward. You're Squidward. I'm Squidward. Are there any other Squidwards I need to be knowing about? Meow. And here it is. The most unsightly room in the whole house. I'm Squidward. I'm Squidward. Squidward. All right, we got the usual cast of characters here, which is surprising, given that I did the Think Tank show a little earlier today, but people are still here, so I'm glad that you guys stuck around. That should just go show how much people want to see their weekly batch of MMA news flood in, and so I'm gonna do just that. Splitty City Slickers. I think it was probably just delayed. Yeah. Also, when you're subscribed to multiple channels, it's easy for a few to fall in between the cracks. I had to look you up manually. Jesus. Well, we're screwed. We're screwed, guys, unless we put out new videos. The YouTube gods have punished us for our sins. And boy, are there a lot of sins. We've done too much in too short a time. It's 2 a.m. in South Africa, man. Well, I'm going to get to the news very quickly so that you don't fall asleep before not getting any good information from Hank and his think tank. And I got 9 stories scooped out of the tank this time for you guys. So look forward to that. I've been compiling this shit since Thursday, so maybe some of this will be old news to you. Maybe it won't. I don't know, and I don't care, honestly. So I'm gonna let you guys know. Here we go. First big news story. Francis Ngannou continues to spill the tea on his exploitative, tense, and fractious relationship with Dana White and the UFC, stating that they held his potential heavyweight title fight with John Jones hostage until he threatened to quit in which case they offered him the Jones fight like a shiny set of keys being jingled and jangled in front of him. And Ngannou refused to take the bait, knowing that they'd pull the rug out from under him and rescind the Jones fight immediately once he signed a new contract. And given how the UFC operates with their independent contractors, I'm inclined to agree with him that Uncle Fester and his cronies would have taken back their Jones fight offer as soon as he signed on that dotted line. They would have booked him against every one of the pathetic 40 heavyweights they have on their roster until Francis got beat, and then Jones would step in, waltz in, and win the heavyweight title. That's my theory. There's no other reason why Jones would train and train and train for a move up to the heavyweight division, only for a fight between him and Ngannou not to be announced for another 2 years. Quack, quack, quack. Here, have some bread. Have some bread, you pussy. Go fetch. Here's some bread. Enjoy it at the park. All right. Here's some wheat. Here's some sourdough. God damn it. Anyway, keep quacking, duck. And if the UFC was offering him the fight last minute, I guarantee Jones wasn't signing his name on that dotted line. He's too much of a cop car crying duck to do something like that. Francis also roasted Jones out of his custom fit shoes regarding his heavyweight career, saying that he's only had 2 fights in the division and only gone 4 rounds total at that weight. So he's not worth the trouble of coming back to the UFC to fight him, since he's a privileged heavyweight scrub. Amen, Ngannou. Amen. And good luck finding the death touch against Deontay Wilder. Continue to not fumble that bag. That's right, guys. Old Francis Ngannou is going to be boxing again against Deontay Wilder, which is the fight we all wanted, guys. At least that's what I've heard from announcements. The rumblings are that Wilder versus Ngannou in boxing is in the making. And I think there's no better matchup for good old Ngannou than someone who's sort of like him. Sort of lacks technique, but has a lot of power in his fists. Aged, old, crafty, big meaty hooks, yeah! And it'll just be who absolutely destroys the other guy. Also heard Ngannou versus Chisora. That's a solid one as well. Either way, I think Ngannou has a good chance in those. So I think that's smart booking to have him versus either Wilder or Chisora. So 2 heavyweight boxers past their prime could easily get chinned, have chinning power themselves, and won't, out technical him over 12 rounds. So it's guaranteed that somebody goes down. We are here now, though. Hey, yes, sir. Woo. Yo, what is going on, Ty Betts? Good to see you, my man. Oh, Donald! Hey, Donald! Help me with building this windmill. Oh, that Donald always has a bit of a temper, that fella. Wilder would definitely be a better fighter for Ngannou to win, though. Yeah. If he beats Wilder, his legacy, I mean, it's already secure, but it's further solidified. But yeah, so basically, summary of everything of the word salad I just gave you. Francis Ngannou revealed that the UFC basically held the Jones fight hostage until he signed a new contract with them, or waited until somebody beat him. So basically, when Francis Ngannou left, that was when they offered him the fight against Jones, because they knew that they could use that as good enough bait for him to re-sign with the UFC, and then they'd basically, take it away from him just like that. So what do you think of me going to meet Kurt Angle? I think that's great. I think that's fantastic, Moody. Please don't call him Perk Angle. He hates that. Just call him Old Kurt. Or Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care. Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care. Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care. I got Olympic gold. I got Olympic gold. I got Olympic gold. Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care. mean easier because Wilder isn't as technical as Chisora? Oh, the easier fight. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. I think there's still a chance that Ngannou beats Chisora, but I think it's way more likely he finds the death touch on Wilder. His wife is my age. Yee! King of the Ring 98, I believe. When was that? Is that when he met his wife, or is that when he had his debut? No, that had to be 1999, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, more dirt on Dana White. But what else is new? Anyway, moving on to my next big story. Conor McGregor starting bizarre rumors again. This time claiming that all-time great non-UFC and recently retired MMA heavyweight Fedor Emelianenko might be signed and acquired by BKFC at some point in the future. Adding that the promotion's fans and journalists should stay tuned because they might have some announcements for the promotion regarding Fedor Emelianenko's presence. Hey, thank you for the 40 South African rands. Will we see Cocaine McGregor fight this year? Actually, that goes right into my story. So I will read on. Now Conor did say, "Hey Fedor, we're waiting, yeah," implying that nothing's been signed or on the table fully yet. And he could just be talking out of his arse like he usually does. But given that BKFC's bread and butter is signing old washed fucks, get further pummeled with bare knuckles, these potential negotiations actually have a chance of being true. As sad and pathetic as that is. I highly doubt Fedor has a chance in BKFC at his age, given that Ryan Bader, the easiest opponent in the light heavyweight division, Ryan Bader, finished him within a round. I don't think he lasts 5 2-minute rounds. He probably gets his face permanently disfigured or chinned like Marlon Moraes at the slightest sign of adversity. He's that washed at this point in his career. I don't know if I'd be more mad at him coming back or Lawler. Oh, who am I kidding? If BKFC signs Lawler after his perfect retirement and Fedor's fantastic retirement, they're the devil incarnate. I'm starting to tire of gloveless GFL's targeted talent pool of 40-year-old men. Just make your own damn stars, you lazy sons of bitches. Even UFC fighters undeservedly cut are better options than ruining the MMA community's childhoods. Sick, greedy fucks, these guys. But in terms of Conor McGregor fighting this year, nope, I don't see it. He promises, I'll be there in bare knuckle. I'll be there in UFC. I'll be here and there and everywhere. And then one way or another, he doesn't show. So he won in 2000 for King of the Ring. That's right. Wait, what? But why did you reference 98? Do you mean King of the Ring in terms of how old she is? Like 27 or something? What are we talking about here? Moody is a difficult puzzle to figure out. Definitely seems like a deviated septum there, Hank. Definitely a fixable special. I thought it was 98. I'm old. Oh, okay. Got it. Connor's washed. I wish we'd just stop paying him any attention. Yeah, or paying him any money. He deserves to go fucking broke. She's 38 in March and he's 57 in December. And you squeeze right in the middle there, Moody. A Moody sandwich. Fantastic. Just like Heather's predicted. I wouldn't. Perk Angle? I don't want him. Peak Angle. Yes. I don't want him trying to stalk me or get my private info and peering through the windows and start a wrestling angle over trying to get me. So I don't know. He's so high, people like that type of stuff. Moody sandwich. Yeah. You eat it and you just, it's a depressant pretty much. Tunes the mind out, you know. Anyway. But yeah, what do you think about potentially Fedor being signed to bare knuckle fighting championships? You think he does all right? Or I mean, did they even sign him in the first place? Because you really can't believe anything Connor says. And I mean, but the thing is, because BKFC has so much washed talent, it makes sense that he might get hired. They were considering Lawler versus Perry, which is a horrible matchup. I don't think anyone would want it after that retirement. And I don't know, man. It's just, I don't want to see Fedor in there. I think he'd get his ass kicked. That's a spicy meatball. Oh God, what did she what is that quote? Ooh, she's feisty. I love it. That's a spicy meatball. It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man. These days, hopefully I'll get a selfie with the guy who won gold with the broken freaking neck. His name's Kurt Angle, and what the heck? He won a gold medal with the broken freaking neck. Fedor signed a $5 million deal, I heard, to fight Rothwell, I believe. Oh. Horrible matchmaking. And Fedor is just going to, I mean, Big Ben Rothwell is just going to knock him out in one round. Dude, it's fucking over. Oh, I know, too smelly. That's a spicy Philly cheesesteak from Pittsburgh. Yee! Yes, sir. There's spicy meatballs. Look at them, man. Look at them, brother. Philly cheesesteak. Woo! All right. Anyway, on to my next big piece of MMA news I got for you guys, dude. All right. Ooh, this one will get interesting. The public feud between Sean Strickland and Eric Nicksick seems to be slowly resolving itself, as Nicksick has explained that he was not in the right state of mind during his interview with Ariel Helwani. Having heard Sean's perspective on where his mind was at right before the fight, but said that despite that fact, he would never be dishonest about his fighters' performances, or otherwise he wouldn't be a very good coach. But apparently Sean was just out of it before their fight. And then so Sean told him he was out of it before the fight. And then he ends up on Ariel's show and just fucking lays into him. Another coach for Extreme Couture, Justin James, meanwhile, has implied that a financial dispute was behind Sean and Eric's split, claiming that Eric sent Sean a text with 5 paragraphs talking about his payment. And Sean ignored him. Then he rambled about how Nicksick has a family and makes sacrifices every day only to get shorted. And Strickland responded to Jane's interview with a simple IG message. This is completely false. Unless Sean Strickland starts unloading all of Coach Jane's dirty laundry on Twitter soon after this, I think he's lying. Though in all seriousness, I'm glad Sean isn't letting Justin just speak for Eric and tried to shut down further drama between the two of them. Although maybe Eric started this rumor in the first place. In which case, Sean can just keep hating on him, you know. If Eric wants to be like a drama queen, then Strickland can just sort of lay into him a little bit. But it is that dumbass Jane's idea. Or if Eric's telling the truth, then I don't know. It's a messy situation, but at least Sean and Eric are trying to sort of ease the tensions It's just an overall strange affair. And given there's still coverage of their fallout, I don't see Strickland coming back to Extreme Couture anytime soon. Or at least not getting coached by Eric. Maybe American Top Team has a spot for such a neo-nationalist. Or Sean's old boys club. Or Bryce Mitchell's farm, where he can be further indoctrinated. I'm sure Chris Curtis would just be thrilled at that. I should get a singlet like Angle and shave my head when I meet him. Yeah, you can be, oh, shoot. You can be Angill, like Gilberg, you know? Kurt Angill. Ah! And just get beaten up. Then whisper something weird to him right before the picture. Like, man, you make those jeans work. Ooh, yeah. Did your parents ever tell you had good genes? Ooh. Tight, 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 tight. Yeah. Yeah. Then, or just right before the picture, Burke Angle. You stalked women. Hey, all right. Great picture, guys. But yeah, what do you think of the continuing drama between Shawnee Strickland and Eric Nicksick? Do you think those two are going to patch things up? Do you think they're going to keep coaching each other? I mean, do you think Nicksick's going to keep coaching Sean? Or is Sean just completely done? But they're trying to sort of do it like damage control right now. Gold Dust sounding lines there. Ooh, Duke. Angle. I can make you a star in my newest motion picture. It's called Come at Me at All Angles. Starring Kurt. Oh, and that Kurt, he gets real Kurt sometimes. Oh, curtsy for me, Kurt. Yes, it's my new period piece with Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle. Oh, or should I say, he's a Kurt Angel in my life. Sean is wanting to do a podcast with old Bryce Mitchell, Berber. Sean's a tard. Yeah, and a turd. Yeah, he's both. But yeah, Gold Dust. He's still wrestling too. Old Dustin Rhodes. Sparkle hands. No, that's not him. That's Stardust. Woo! 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 Ah! Woo! 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 Ah! Woo! Good old Stardust, always hopping and prancing around. Now he's your WWE champion, everybody. Woo! Ah! Yeah. That Gold Dust promo when he was in bed with that girl in Booker with T was hilarious. Room for one more. Hey, I didn't know we were stopping. Good old Cody Rhodes and Stardust, Berber. What's the difference? Hank is a monkey's uncle. Yeah, and sometimes I did make sure to dig the fleas out of my little nephew's hair. And then I have them fight each other for dominance. And have them fight over the ladies! Hyven! There's a sick YouTube short called The Evolution of Gold Dust. And it does it show like his visual evolution and how he changes up his gimmick. Yo! Hey, Capitan Rafuco! Always a welcome presence here in the Split Decision chat. One is a champ and the other was Goldie's little sidekick. Yeah. But, hey, they both won gold. Or should I say bronze? Rafuco! Hey, Rafuco. Good to see you, my man. But yeah, do you think, you think they're gonna, oh God, I already said that, but I don't know, man. I like Sean. I like Nicksick. Although honestly, like Sean hasn't put in very good performances as of late, so maybe it's good that Sean dumps him in the end. Yeah, and it plays that Madonna remix with the flutes. Oh yeah. Do 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 do. Shattered dreams, gold dust. My greatest picture. Anyway, let's get to my next piece of MMA news. How about it? Oh, this is the big one, folks. Get ready for this. Ilia Topuria has finally kept his word and has vacated his featherweight title, moving up to lightweight in what I'm assuming will be a long-term journey to facing Islam Makhachev for his belt instead. At first, I was a little upset that Ilia versus Islam wasn't booked immediately, but given that Topuria has only had one title defense, it makes sense that he has to prove himself in a new weight class in order to challenge the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the UFC. That's what Islam's manager said about Topuria's prospects. Oh God, I lost it. At lightweight on Twitter, writing that he needs a number one contender's lightweight fight to prove that he's legit at lightweight. And I get it. There have been plenty of rumors on who Ilia will prove himself against, but the most likely one seems to be a fight with Dustin Poirier, who was seen posting a selfie of himself training in the gym immediately after it was announced that Ilia was moving up in weight, saying that he was bringing a dog fight very soon. Not on the level of Gene Silva, but definitely a dog fight. But no, Izzy. Trust. You make fun of Millie, you make fun of my family, okay? Anyway. This is in reference to Ilia Topuria saying on a podcast recently that Poirier fights like a dog and would be a great fight for him. You put two and two together. Paddy Pimblich said that he'd see us at the top. And what do you know? He's fighting Chandler. With enough critical thinking, fans can figure out quite a few upcoming fight announcements from the UFC. And I think fans believing this fight's happening are right on the money. It's all lining up perfectly and would make a great legacy fight for Poirier if he wins. Meanwhile, Alexander Volkanovski will be fighting for the featherweight crown against Diego Lopez instead, which is a matchup I've wanted for Volk for a very long time. And now will be realized under the bright lights at UFC 314. No, man. I think Volk still loses to Lopez. He doesn't react to big shots or knockdowns well anymore. And if Lopez catches him at any point in this fight, it's probably going to be night-night, just like with Topuria. So I've got Lopez by first-round knockout early on. But who knows? As time passes and predictors give their opinions, I might change my mind. But right now, I feel almost certain about this. We'll see. Either way, this is now an exciting time for the featherweight and lightweight divisions. And I can't wait to see what both have in store for us this year. But yeah, did I give an accurate assessment of the big move from Ilia Topuria? Oh, yes, he's moving on up to 155, moving on up. He's going to move to where that weight division's lied. Yeah, he's finally going to beat that Dagestani guy. Moving on up. Moving on up. Any thoughts and opinions on old Ilia's big move? I mean, he vacated his featherweight title. That's big news, guys. I mean, maybe it's a little bit late to be announcing this, but good on Ilia for not holding up two weight classes. Yeah. But Guru also made a great point that if he loses at lightweight, he'll just go right back down to featherweight. Right back down. So I think he's still going to be sort of a nuisance in both weight classes if he doesn't win, you know. If he beats Poirier, if he goes up, if he challenges Islam. But then if he loses to Islam, guess where he's going? Is he going to be hanging around lightweight? No way. He's going to go back down to the weight division he won a title in. And then, I mean, there might be some changes, but at the same time, once he takes over and wins the belt again, we're probably going to be in another period of like stagnation, you know? I think he's not going to be as powerful at a weight class above. I mean, didn't he fight Jai Herbert at lightweight at one point, and he got his like head rattled. But then he came back and put Herbert out cold. So I'm not sure. It's tough. I mean, if Volk can knock down Islam, I'd give Topuria a chance. It's pretty hard to knock out Dustin Poirier, though, unless you have some like a miraculous flying kick. Same thing happened to Conor and the others. Yeah, I mean, Conor did dismantle Eddie, though. He destroyed Eddie Alvarez, but he did struggle against Poirier. But then again, those fights all ended pretty early. But yeah, he should. I mean, and then the thing with Khabib is Dagestanis, their chins are just very strange. Genetically, of course, you know. And Diaz, yeah. Maybe he's that special a talent that he can do it, but he's already pretty short as well. I think that might hurt him as well, is that he's very short. He'll have to sort of punch up to land. Because of that, his striking might not be as accurate or effective. Diaz at 170 was unsleepable. Yeah. Crimson chin, titanium chin. Dude is just too dumb to give up. So I believe he only what was it? He lost to Jorge Masvidal, but it was by like cut in a BMF fight, and it was stopped. It was a doctor stoppage. It was like the worst possible way you can end a badass motherfucker title fight with a doctor stoppage. But yeah, other than that, he's pretty much invincible. Stephen Thompson. Did Stephen Thompson knock him out? Head kicked him. Oh. How come I don't see that on many highlight reels? I'm going to check if that's true. I don't see it. No, I didn't see Wonder Boy knock him out. Diaz. Now you got me all sorts of confused, man. What are you talking about? You didn't get knocked out by Wonder Boy. I don't think he even fought Wonder Boy. Yeah, I'm looking through his career. I don't see it. Anyway, let's get into our next piece of MMA news. While Two Smelly Fingers tries to figure this shit out, okay? And send me your evidence in Discord if you have it. I'm confused. 1 minute. Uh-oh. Anyway, let's oh, here we go. This is some good news. This is some lovely news. On top of the good news I already gave. Also being announced by Dana White on Instagram a few days ago were a ton of great fights the UFC has scheduled in just a couple months, including the aforementioned Patty Chandler matchup, which is a fascinating fight. Yair Rodriguez versus Patricio Pitbull, which is a dream fight. Geoff Neal against Carlos Prates. Banger! Good Noodle against Jim Miller in a battle of the generations. Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson. Oh, Lord, I smell something cooking. And that's just for UFC 314. Dana White fucking cooked for UFC 314. That looks stacked as hell. Josh Thompson. Oh, brother. Whip, 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 whip. I confused the first names. Okay. Got it. Yeah, if you said Josh Thompson, I would be like, oh, yeah, Josh Thompson. Apologies. No problem. It happens to Smelly Fingers. But yeah, now I'm looking very forward to UFC 314 with Patty, Chandler, Rodriguez, Pitbull, Neal, Prates. Good stuff. And Neal versus Prates. Good Noodle against Miller, man. That is Ige versus Woodson. Jesus. Anyway, now he also announced Sandhagen versus Figueiredo. Just give him O'Malley already. Alexa Grasso versus Natalia Silva. My Google Drive autocorrected it to Natalita Silva, and that's a pretty good name shade. She should consider that for the DMV. Shevchenko versus Fiorot had to happen. And Jack Della fucking Maddalena is getting a title shot against Bilal Muhammad, everybody. The MMA gods have fucking spoken. All is right with the world. And that's a lie. But all is right in the world. And I will be a happy fan through May. No complaints from this guy. Dana finally decided to cook with no oil this time. No oiling him up. I really don't know what else to say. He killed it. The UFC is interesting again. And I'm a happy camper. This is what every quarter of the UFC's calendar should feel like. So, job well done, Dana. Uncle Fester status is revoked. For now. Until you start doing AI shit with Trump and Zuck. In which case, don't do that. So yeah, big announcements from the big man tonight. Ha ha! As you know, I like to get excited. And with DraftKings Sportsbook, you can have all the great times reacting to fights in the world and make money. Now you're talking. Download the DraftKings Sports app. Mic drop. Yeah, I have no words. I have no more words. Words escape me. Now you're betting. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook. Ha ha! The crown is yours. Now you're feeling it? That's what he said. That's what John Ennick says. Those stupid DraftKings fucking ads. Now you're feeling it? Ha ha! Joe Rogan! Ha ha! Both men battling over the custody of their children. Trust. Both these men in marital disputes. Trust. Good day, Hank. Hey, how's it going, Drunken Boxing? Good to see you, my friend. Always a pleasure when Drunken Boxing makes his entrance into the split decision chat. 1 second, guys. No problem. Sorry, guys. Just had to let someone in. But yeah, great fights. What do you guys think of the fights that have been announced by Dana White in the last couple days? Thank you, kind sir. Thank you, Drunken Boxing. It's always a pleasure. But yeah, big fights. Patty Chandler, Yair Rodriguez, Patricio Pitbull, Geoff Neal versus Carlos Prates, Chase Hooper against Jim Miller, Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson, Sandhagen versus Figgy, Grasso, Natalia Silva, Shevchenko Fiorot, and JDM against Bilal Muhammad. What do you guys think of all those big fights? That's huge. Which one are you looking the most forward to? Oh. Are you guys a bunch of casuals and don't care about these announcements? Just tell me the truth, damn it. Damn it, Bobby. That boy ain't right. Hello? Hello? Can anybody hear me? I feel like I'm losing my mind right now. Speak to me, people. Speak to me. Ugh. That sucks, man. Well, I'm going to wait a few more minutes, and then I'm getting into the next piece of news. Since you guys clearly don't care about everything that I just said. Well, whatever. Doesn't matter what people think, because I'm happy. Hank the Tank's happy, damn it. I get to see all these great... Okay, finally. I'm looking forward to Bilal versus JDM. Even though I think Bilal rolls him. Rolls him up like a blunt. Smokes him like a Rasta. Jason Jackson is the Bellator champion. He smoked him like a Rasta. Yeah. I hope not, man. I really do. I hope not. I hope it's Bilal getting some takedowns. JDM gets back up and just beats the hell out of Bilal. That's what I'm hoping for. Botched. Hey, it's botched. Nobody said anything. Hey, I just made an announcement, and nobody cares. It's almost like I'm a bad journalist. Botched. Rolling that JDM pack. Damn it. That's not fair. The only thing that would make it worse is if JDM came out to the Land Down Under with Volkanovski's theme, and then he got absolutely destroyed. That would not be fun. I'd love a JDM KO. Stuff of dreams. I mean, is Bilal really that dominant a champion where you can say, oh, it's just the stuff of dreams that he loses? Bilal's getting up there in age. JDM's pretty young. And he was, getting taken down by Gilbert Burns and then still managed to find a way to knock him out at the very end of round 3. They're going to go 5 rounds. Is Bilal going to stay out of trouble for 5 rounds and just wrestle fuck JDM for, 25 minutes without any problems? No diddy. I doubt it, man. So, keep your fingers crossed. Anyway, big fights, big fight feel. Actually, it's nice to be a UFC fan for once. So, good stuff. Good stuff. Anyway, my next piece of big MMA news. Well, we really are in the age of kings and queens, as professional fighters are now tossing money out onto the streets for the peasants to hurriedly gather. To be fair, UFC light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira only tossed it once on the recommendation of a friend and handed it out later. But man, this society and economy is in a rough state if people are relying on the charity of Alex Pereira to pay their rents. Alex is a good soul, and pretty much every video you see of him, he's doing something cool. But I hate it when celebrities do menial acts of charity as a subliminal way of flaunting their wealth. Even if it was unintentional from Pereira, the visual of the rich giving physical handouts to the poor on their own accord instead of giving back through taxes is an unwelcome sight, in my opinion. And I hope we take some critical steps to exiting this gilded age once and for all after this country's 4-year fascist dictatorship is overthrown. Bam, there's a mic drop for you. Yes, it's totally possible. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So consider it. But yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, it's another classic video from Alex Pereira, throwing out the money, handing people, rolls of cash like they're Jimmy from Mr. Beast. But I don't know. I hate those videos personally. You don't have to do it on camera. Seems shallow to me. Yeah. It's like for entertainment, you know? Do it because you want to. Don't do it because, oh man, people will pay attention to this, you know? Give to charities, pay taxes, help out, you know, do it the right way. Publicly. Yep, he did it publicly too. Yeah, it's a little lame, man. Maybe Alex was just convinced by the people around him to do it though. Still seems pretty weird. Do it because you're a good person. Exactly. Have a purpose to it. Like Tom Grossi when he raised $1 million recently for kids who lost their parent veterans in battle. Raised $1 million for those kids to grow up well. Yeah, anyway, let's get on to the next piece of MMA news. In a pretty cool piece of MMA news, Mike Perry and Michael Venom Page spoke for the first time since their epic bare knuckle war. For you guys, dude! For you guys! At BKFC 27, and had fascinating recollections of their 6 rounds spent tearing each other apart. MVP felt like he won it, and a lot of MMA fans think the same thing, to be honest. But he thought it was a fantastic fight they shared, and he's sort of glad Perry won. Because he created a great name and character and did amazing things in BKFC. And said no one else in his MMA career has made his face look like it did in their scrap. And Perry replied that he didn't have to deal with Page's shit legs, so it was easier to beat him up. And there was a moment that Page took the back of Mike Perry. And Perry wanted him to do it so he could figure out his frame and fight style out. And clarified that it was an honor to share the ring with him and that he's been a longtime fan of MVP. Super wholesome interaction between 2 nice guys with scary-ass dads. You know Tom Grossi? Yeah, he's a pretty big YouTuber, man. It's honestly hard not to know Tom Grossi. Guy's done a lot as a YouTuber outside of just football. So, yeah, I watched him for his comedy vids. They're actually sort of what got me into the sport of football when I kept watching them. But yeah, he's a lot of fun. Very, very wholesome guy. I mentioned wholesome again. He I believe he raised $1 million twice. One to charity, just general charity, and another for a specific cause. So, yeah, dude's a nice guy. What can you say? What do you guys do you think have you watched that war between Mike Perry and MVP? And if so, what do you think? Did you is that still a classic bare knuckle fight for you guys? And do you want to see Mike Perry back in bare knuckle? Because guys, it's been too long. Been too long since he got knocked out by Jake Paul. He needs a new opponent. But I do not want it to be Robbie Lawler. I'd rather have him fight Jerry Lawler than Robbie Lawler. Any thoughts, guys? Do you want there to be a rematch between MVP and Mike Perry? All right, I'm going to let it play for 30 more seconds, then I'm going to get into my next piece of MMA news. Yeah, lots of interesting news. I mean, it seems like it's a lot of 2 big announcements, 2 big moments. And the rest sort of seems like peanuts in comparison to those 2 big pieces of news. But you know what? That's okay. Because even the small stuff can turn into bigger stuff eventually. So it's good to track the disease when it's just started to germinate in the body, and then you can detect it early and then take it out, you know? And we need to comment on these big stories early before they become even bigger. And then Hank the Tank can say that I called it. That's right. Anyway, let's get to our next big piece of MMA news. In one of Armenia's funniest home videos, Arman Tsarukyan can be seen knocking his coach out through the cage door while hitting pads. First, it was the Bobby Green situation, then the fan backhand, then the Nina drama gymnastics. Now this? Jesus, Arman, just go easy when you're interacting with people, man. You don't have to overdo it. Might end up with another Sean Strickland, Eric Nixick situation if you keep this shit up. Alpha male. That blaring music is driving this man crazy. Who knows what he'll do next? Also, I thought that Arman had a debilitating back injury. Now he's able to spar again, good as new. Yeah, something's telling me this guy's an injury faker. On top of all the other bullshit that he's pulled, whether that's his own choice or the UFC's decision to postpone Islam and Arman's title bout until Ilia's had a fight or two at lightweight. There's something very fishy going on here. We got a mystery on our hands, gang. Yo, Shaggy and Scooby, you go check the basement. While me, Velma, and Daphne go check upstairs in the bedroom. Would you do it for a Scooby snack? No way. How about a Shaggy snack? A Shaggy snack. That's right, a pizza made with olive sardines, jelly beans, and sprinkled donuts. Like, yes. I'm gonna do it, old pal. I can't hold it much longer. I can hold it either, Raggy. Like, what do you know? A ham sandwich. Sure could use some mustard. Anyway. What do you think about Arman Tsarukyan accidentally knocking his coach through the cage door? Accidentally. This man just can't help but cause trouble. It's in his nature, guys. Why does he always have to be such a strange one, you know? Mic wasn't plugged in. Jesus Christ. Hey, do you hear me now? Hello? Jesus. Anyway. I'll let it go another minute and then I'll get into my next story. Damn, you guys are not interested. You're not interested. Why aren't you interested in me? God damn it, guys. You know what? It's okay. I'm fine with it. Just do what you want. Anyway. But yeah, if you can't tell already, I got a grudge against Arman Tsarukyan. Everything about him is just a little awkward, and he's always pulling something. We want to be starting something. You got to be starting something. How to get over. Yeah. Too old to get up now. You're stuck in the middle. Anyway, let's get into my final news story of the think tank that I was able to fish out with my bare hands for you guys, dude. The last big one, it's a big fish, all right. There's a halibut about this big. And just this wide, giant tuna fish. Stuck in the middle with you. Well, I know that something just ain't alright. You can tell by the way that I feel. And I know that you're worked up in there. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Something right. Don't tell, but do it when I care. And I know it's something to do. Oh, that Mr. Blonde. Such a silly scamp he is, man. Always making cracking jokes. No homo, you got a decent voice, Hank? Thank you. I try, man. I try. Honestly, it's miraculous. People still think my voice is good with all the fucking medical shit I've been dealing with recently with this fucking nose. But that's all right. Hey, that's okay. Forget about it. Hey, oh. Whatever, man. Whatever. Forget about it. Anyway, we got one last piece of big MMA news for all the Splitty City Slickers out there. So listen up. Keep your ears peeled. Finally, we have a classic cringe moment from Henry Cejudo. He took to Instagram calling for a rematch with Song Yadong after he got his no diddy. He songed his dong, but you know what? That's all right. It happens in the cage sometimes. After he got his ass whooped for 3 rounds, and then dumbly claimed that Song should have been deducted a point for eye poking him when it was the first time he'd done it in the fight, and clearly had 3 rounds over Cejudo, so he had no need to even poke him in the eye. Dana White pretty much backhanded all these sentiments from Henry before he could even share them in his own post-fight press conference, saying he doesn't want to see the rematch ever, because ever. Anyway, sorry, I tapped into Uncle Fester for a second there. He doesn't want to see the rematch ever because it was so one-sided. And anyone who thought that Song deserved to get a point taken away has the last name Cejudo. Ouch! Triple C. Even Dana knows you're cringe. Crazy and cope as fuck, bro. That's the triple C. Crazy, cope, and cringe. Henry claimed that he could still see 4 limbs on Song Yadong, 4 arms on Song Yadong by the time 5 minutes passed. And yet he seemed real upset when the technical decision didn't go his way. It's almost as if he wanted the fight to get prematurely stopped and go to a decision where he felt like he won it. Very stupid, Henry. Very stupid. And so ends the tale of people taking you seriously as a fighter ever again. The king of cringe era is dead, and the clown of cringe era is finally here. You let me down, Henry. You let me down, son. Why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too? That Henry always serving up an excuse. He and Colby are just the same, man. They can never just accept a loss. Has to be ran back. Oh, that they should have had a point taken away at that point. Oh, the stoppage was bullshit. Oh, do something about this or that, you know? You said that already. Oh, wait, that's already been said. Shit. Well, Henry Cejudo, man. Henry Cejudo. Why can't he just leave with style and grace? Why? He should have never came back to the UFC. Hasn't won a fight since, man. The sad saga for Henry Cejudo. The trilogy of terror, as well as probably tearing something in his body, you know? But, man, that's it. That's probably it for Henry Cejudo, unless he finds some bum to fight. Do you think he should have taken the full 5 minutes? No. He should have gotten up after 1 minute and been like, I'm good. And then just kept on fighting, dude. If he wanted to go out like a warrior and have him and Song, you know, go bash each other's heads in back and forth, he should have just said, I'm good. His eyes were wide open. So, I get it. He saw 4 arms, but how many fingers am I holding up? Just say 2. Just say 2. It's usually the right answer. So, yeah, I don't know, man. He should have just stepped back in there and kept on fighting. But instead, he made a whole dramatic affair out of it like he usually does, and whines and whines and whines, and cost him. Ended the fight early. He needed to finish at that point, to be honest, so he had to keep going to win that fight, and he lost 30-27, so it is what it is. Dana was pissed because he quit, I think. Yes, he was. He also said that the idea of running it back and having a rematch is stupid and silly because Song was just whooping Henry's ass. I think he's definitely pissed because it was a great show with like, I think like at one point 8 for 8 or 9 for 9 finishes, and then a few good fights, and then Cejudo and Song basically stink up the place with that ending. So I don't think Dana was going to be happy about that, regardless of the outcome or who did what, because one of them quit, and a fight should end in either a finish or a decision. It shouldn't end in a fucking technical finish, technical stoppage. You never want to see a show end like that, but these things happen, man. These things happen. But that was a hell of a insult. With, if you think that Song should have a point taken away, your last name's Cejudo. That's a classic from Dana White, and he hasn't had a lot of those recently because he's so busy being a delusional Jones Glazer and public defender. But now Dana's starting to get into his old self a little bit. I think there's something about late winter to early spring that just gets those juices in his brain flowing. So he's on a roll now. Dana's on a roll now. So I'm gonna give him his props. He's booking. He booked a great next 3 or 4 months for the UFC. Will he continue this momentum? Highly doubt it. Anyway, anything else you want to talk to Hank the Tank about before I sign out? That is my whole batch of MMA news I was able to fish out of the think tank. And now I'm here, man. The end of the line. OK Corral. What do you got for me? So you got to ask me one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do I, punk? And if you guys don't say another thing in these next 2 minutes, I'm ending the show. So do your worst. I can play the silence game, man. I can play it. Staring contest. Damn it. Ah, man. I'm here. I know you're here, Sunburn Sage. I know. Do you have any last comments for the tank before I sign off? Before Hank exits his deployment and earns his medal with honors. What fight are you looking forward to the most next card? Good question. Good question from Two Smelly Fingers. Let's take a look at the next card. Take a look. It's in a book. I remember. Okay, no, never mind. I don't need it. I don't need it. It's Nasrat Haqparast versus Esteban Ribovic. That is my favorite fight on the next card. I'm really excited for that. Maybe they can do what Nazim Sadikov and Ismail Bonfim couldn't do, and have a banger that goes all 3 rounds. That's what I'm looking forward to. I want it to go all 3 rounds and be a fucking amazing fight. That's what I'm looking forward to. It's gonna be a scrap yard figure. You figure? Oh yeah, absolutely I do. Haqparast always comes to play. Ribovic had that absolute war with Daniel Zellhuber. It sounds like a match made in heaven to me. Cap versus Almabayev. I have no idea if that's going to be a good fight or not. Name Barlow versus Sam Patterson. Ricardo Ramos versus Chase Mariscal might be good. Lucas Almeida versus Danny Silva is pretty good. Johnson versus Tamirov. There are some options. There are some options for sure. But not the most exciting card in the world. Just got to be honest with that one. I'm not looking too forward to this one on Saturday. But it is what it is. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for the Think Tank. Thank all you guys for watching. And, hold on. Seems like the less popular fighters perform better these days. That's a good point from the Sunburned Sage. Yeah. They're definitely getting more knockouts. Because I think there's more of a talent difference with their opponents. Like, the less popular fighters are given guys who they beat to become more popular. Whereas the more popular guys have even contests because they're up the rankings. And they're supposed to have little technical affairs and keep their spot. And, the welterweight division is just the biggest example of that, Lots of fights, no finishes, because they're all sort of equal in how either good or bad they are. Strickland gets paid to spar guys on the octagon. Dude, he's living the dream. He should honestly just quit. He should just retire and then just spend the rest of his days being paid to spar guys and just beat the absolute hell out of them. I think Sean would pay to do that. I don't think he'd even want to get paid. I think he'd actually pay to do that. So, yeah, that's how he should spend his retirement. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you guys all for watching Hank's Think Tank. I have been your host, Hank the Tank. And look out for tomorrow's big stream with me in Idaho. We will be doing our preview and picks for that mid card on Saturday, along with Davis versus Roach, hopefully. So until we meet again, Splitty City Slickers, you have escaped the concrete jungle for now. And I go and somewhere down with my chair, and I know that nobody is there. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Hey, you know this track, hey, this is an alright record, okay? And I know there's something, I'm gonna cut you out, damn it! Come here, you!